Welcome back, guys. Now, if you take a look out here, you should notice quite a few less icons flashing around, at least kind of up to this kind of area, but like in general, because I've been doing some work and trying to get rid of some of the problems. We will be doing some time lapse later. We will have a fairly well, it kind of depends how much time I've got left, because I've actually spent like I don't know, like 3 hours on this already, just like with messing around with stuff. It's amazing where the time goes. But there are some kind of crucial things that I want to show you. Let's kick off with education, because education was kind of an interesting one, I thought. You can see a lot of red buildings. The reason for that is because I've been knocking these areas down. Areas that I haven't knocked down, like over here, this is all blue, because I haven't knocked it down yet. But these areas that I have knocked down are starting. The blue's coming back now. But what I kind of noticed was that at first we had like very little elementary school availability. There was a huge demand, and but that has started to go away a little bit, because people are now graduating from elementary school, and what it's creating is a big demand. Let's go to here, it's easier. It's creating a big demand for high schools. So I've actually thrown in like quite a few more high schools. Well, quite a few. I guess I've thrown in like maybe 5 extra high schools. So we're almost up to like dealing with that, and of course that's going to go, that eligibility is going to go up, but then it's going to go down because more of them will be eligible for universities. And I think we've got like 2 universities in at the moment. We've got Kingston University over here, and we've got whatever the hell that is. I don't know, London University or something. No, I didn't even put the name in. That's a shame. I need to start doing that. I need to start naming things. This is Kingston University. Let's name it. Kingston University Ching. There we go. Now, by the way, I was asked the question: am I like when this is finished or whatever? Am I going to put this up on the Steam Workshop? Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose naming stuff would be a good idea, so that when you guys get hold of it, you know what the hell things are supposed to be. Right. So yeah. So I did the education. It's taking time to kind of settle down, because they've got to go through the cycles of, you know, people going through elementary school and then high school. So I've been letting it run for a while, and we'll let it run on for like a while longer, and we'll kind of see how it's balanced out, and then I may have to add some more stuff in. But stuff does seem to be leveling up fairly well. Although like this area, okay, so that's 5. Right, so that's maxed out. That's what? No, that's level 1. That's level 1. Level 1. Level 1. It's coming up to level 2. This is level 1. No, that's a school. That's coming up to level 2. Level 2. That's level 5. That's level 5. That's level 5. 3. Almost 5. 1. 3. There's a lot of variation. So yeah, I think it's gonna take a while to settle down. What else did I do? Police stations. I added a few police stations to increase our police coverage, and that's got rid of a lot of those crime icons. Jail's availability is okay at the moment, but we'll kind of see, because as they catch more of these criminals, that may dip down, and we may need to put another jail in, another prison. Another big ass. So, alright, so that's that. Right. You know what what I didn't look at? I didn't look at hospital coverage. Should we have a look at hospital? Let's have a look at hospital coverage. That'd be health, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we've got tons of capacity. Loads. Yeah, we've got hospitals all over the place. Alright, cool. What about death care? Yeah, tons of capacity. Tons of capacity. Alright. What else have I done? I fixed the Northern Line. Should we have a look at that? Let's have a quick look at that. So, the Northern Line. I do want to keep you kind of up to speed with, like, if I'm doing stuff offline, I want you guys to like know what I've done. So, the northern line is this. Well, it's either white or grey, because there are two northern lines, and one of them's white and one of them's grey. I've made one white. See, you can see a white train there. You can see a grey train there. I've just made them slightly different colours. In actual fact, the northern line should be black, but if it was black, you wouldn't be able to see anything because it's on a black background. So there you go. But yeah, I ended up completely deleting the western line, which is the grey one, and putting it back in because I was trying to get rid of this. See this icon here? That icon, I can't figure out what the hell that is like attached to. Because literally, I deleted this line, and that icon was still there. And it's not on this line. It's nothing to do with this line. So God only knows what that is. Like, I seriously have no idea. And no, it's not part of the Jubilee line because that's not hooked up yet. Oh, should we? That's a good point. You know, like while we're here, should we hook up the Jubilee line? I probably need to redo that a little bit, don't I? Yeah. So let's just take that back a bit. Tunnel. See, I'll get distracted, but that's because I'm kind of enjoying myself at the moment. Let's bring you around a little bit more like that, and then no, I want you to go to this one. There we go. Is that actually connected? Yes, I think it has. Cool beans. But we've got another one of these disconnected. Now that's that one I was talking about, isn't it? Yeah. God knows what the hell that is. Now those are perfectly legitimate, and so is this this kind of. This isn't connected to a road at the moment. We need to fix that. You know what? Let's fix that then. Should we have a bit of a fixing session? Yes, we'll have a bit of a fixing session. Let's take that back. So originally we had a road going in front of this. Let's page up so we can see what the hell we're doing. There we go. So I guess we need to put that road back in front of that, but it needs to go like, well, I don't know. I don't know how close it needs to be to this to reattach to the road. How about if we just put that like, I don't know, like that. Oh, yep, that'll do. That'll do. It's reattached. And then we can hook that up to there. There we go. Cool. Yeah, we can start to get some stuff going in around here. I need to talk to you about offices as well. God, so many things I need to talk to you about. So, Jubilee line. Should we at least get one thing like done? So, all I should have to do, well, if I go to the right bloomin' thing, I go to the lines. All I should have to do is drag this stop up to. Let's press shift and get it. Here we go. No, I don't want to move the stop. I want to. There we go. Add stops. There we go. And. But no, that's. Ay, ay, ay. I want this. Oh, I need to drag the other one up there, don't I? Yeah, that's why. So if I drag that one up there, and then drag that one up there as well. There we go. That should have got it. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that, and then drag that in there, and drag that in there. Alrighty, and we fixed it. Good, good, good. But, like I said, well, we've got another broken one there. Like, what the hell's up with that? I don't know, this is a bit flaky. But I'm not going to worry about it. But that means we connected the Jubilee line as well. So that should, again, start to increase our transport numbers. What are we up to now? Yeah, about 150-ish on the trains and about 3,500 on the subways. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. My God, we've actually got quite a few tourists. Like 600, 650, and I think that's a lot. There's definitely something wrong with tourists. Right, I was going to talk to you about offices, wasn't I? Let's talk to you about offices. Let's go down here, because I noticed that down here, this little bit here, this is zoned in for offices, and yet we have no offices. The reason we don't have any offices here is because there are no offices in any of the themes that are available. So we need to go to policies, and we need to allocate one. Now I've set up a London offices theme, and I'm going to turn that on in the city policies, and then we're going to have a little look at it. So London offices. What I've done, let's just show the things that are included. Oh no! No, what? Oh no! Yeah, I was going to do it, and then I couldn't find any buildings, and the one that I actually did in the end was London residential. This is high density residential, and we originally had all of those European buildings in, but I've taken them out, and I've kind of just gone back to the generic ones. And I've spent some time this morning looking for stuff, but it's kind of hard to find. I was looking for offices, and I was looking for high density residential. What I did find was some of the nice Georgian and Regency terraced houses. I have got one. If I say all, and I search for I think Regency. Yeah, this Regency terrace house, and there are some Georgian and Regency terraced. So I'm going to get those, and we'll use those in areas like Kensington and Chelsea, and we should be able to get some good looks to the place. But once again, I need to do more work, sifting through and trying to find the right assets. The hours that I am putting into finding assets at the moment are ridiculous. So yeah, London offices, I'm not quite sure what the hell we're going to put in there. Like, seriously. Yeah, I'll show you, because if we look at what's available in offices, so if we go up here and we choose offices and get rid of residential. Oh no! I know I do have stuff. Yeah, I did go through and do it. Man, I'm losing my freaking mind. Yeah. So I went through, and these are the offices that I picked, and I just tried to find kind of generic, office buildings that wouldn't look out of place in London, and none of these would look out of place in London. Now, I can't say I'm staggeringly keen on that one. I may end up taking that one out. But, like, all the rest are kind of just fairly standard. All of these European ones I took out. So they've all gone. Right? Which now begs the question, since I have set these up, let's look at what's included. So it's just these. Now, since I've got those in, why aren't those offices spawning? That's kind of weird, isn't it? We've got level 1, 2, 3, and we haven't got, only level 1, 2, and 3. We've got a fair range of sizes. So, I don't understand why these aren't zoning in. Shall we let's dezone them and rezone them? Oh, hang on a second. It's because this is in Epsom, and Epsom has its own theme management. Oh, man. So that means I'm going to have to go through all of the themes, all of the districts, and include an office theme. So if I put London offices in, and now it's starting to zone in. Good. Alrighty. Now, obviously, in Epsom, well, I was going to say we should put in no high rise. Let's see, city planning. Ooh, perks for large businesses. I should switch those on. But what was I actually looking for? I was looking for... Where's the... God, it's been a while. Oh, high-rise ban. Here we go. Do we have a ban on high-rise buildings? I don't know. You know what? I'm going to see what buildings come in. And then if we need to put the high-rise ban in, we'll do it. But as you can see, they're fairly kind of... You know, nothing too special. Office-y type buildings. And one of those would do for the Tolworth Tower. But I think I'm going to end up putting that in manually. Okay, so that's that. But that does mean... Oh, I will come up to the offices in a second, but I wanted to show you this because it kind of shows you just how glaring it is when you see buildings that I haven't replaced yet. So like that group there. I mean, it's so glaringly different and glaringly horrible. Right, these are these nasty old style buildings, and then these are our London-y buildings, and still need to do some work with putting trees and stuff in to kind of blend stuff in, and there's a few areas that need to be filled in a bit denser and stuff like that. But and then same over here, you know, you get a little block like that and it's like, oh my god, is this these? Yeah, these just need to get replaced. So let's knock them down. Let's get rid of them. This is a nice new building zoning. You and that one. Let's get rid of those. Fill in again. Should we do that? Should we do this area up here? Nah, you know what? I'll do that in time lapse. Because I've got a lot to do. I'm going to be filling in some areas, and I want to, now that I've got fixed the northern line, I want to start extending the residential areas in and around the northern line. Now the northern line, if I bring it up, the northern line starts down here in Morden. This is Morden down here. Let's get out. Did I put the... Oh, I didn't put the district in. I did name the station though. Here we go, Morden. Oh, not enough electricity, you see. We need to get the electricity out here, but that'll happen when I start filling in the residential areas. So, yeah, we start at Morden, and then it goes up through Collier's Wood, Tooting, Balham, through Clapham, and then probably, yeah, then up through Vauxhall, Kennington really, rather than Vauxhall. This is kind of Kennington here. And then it splits off, and one line goes through Waterloo and goes around the east side of the city. And you know what? I've named the lines wrong. I've got the east and west confused. Idiot. And the other line goes through London Bridge and goes up the west side of the city. And then they meet back up at where? I don't know, like King's Cross kind of area. Yeah. What station is this? Let's see. This is Euston. Well, you've got St Pancras, Euston, and King's Cross like right next to each other. So, but again, that station's not connected, so there's plenty to do. Plenty to do. Now, before I go into time-lapse, was there anything else that I wanted to tell you? I don't think so. So I think it's time-lapse time. So I dived in, and the first thing I did was I started marking in a couple of districts. I only actually put in Balham as a new one, and then I got to work. I must admit, I was really pumped. I was really excited to do this, and I wanted to get like a load done, and I did get a fair bit done, but almost instantly, like as soon, like the first bit that I went to zone in had a train track running through it, and this kind of made me realise like kind of what I needed to do, because at first, well, you can see I started putting in like the bridges over the roads and stuff, and then like as I started to do it, I started to realise that a lot of this is probably going to change, like it always has. So, after a while, I realised that most of these trains, you can see on the map that this is on an embankment. This is raised up on an embankment. So I thought, actually, you know what I'll do? What I'll do is I'll put the tracks in. I'll put them in like primarily elevated. In fact, I put like most of it in elevated, just to mark out where the train lines are. Because as you can see, there's quite a lot of them. Because we're moving into South London now, and we've done all the train lines in South West London, but we haven't done the train lines in South London. So that's what I'm doing now. So I thought, you know what? I'll mark in the train lines with just these elevated lines, and then we'll put the roads in and stuff. And then once we've got both kind of bits together, then I can go back after I've put all the roads and done all the zoning and all that kind of stuff, and then I can figure out how I want to fit like the train stations in, and where I want bridges and where I want tunnels, and then lay the track or join the track up completely. And I think that's a much better way of doing it. I think it's going to be a lot quicker and easier. So, but yeah, I got a lot of these train tracks done. But it did kind of make me realise, the more I do of this, the more I realise how much work there is to do. But oh man, wait till you see this at the end, because it's kind of getting very, very cool. And especially when you look at certain bits of it, and you realise that, you know, that bus that's going up there, that's actually on the bus route that bus goes on, and it goes up that street, you know, and it goes past that tube station, and you can get that bus, and you can get off at that tube station, and you can catch the tube that goes from that place, like, you know, into like wherever. The realism of it sometimes it suddenly hits me, and it's kind of shocking. Like, you know what? I'm not kind of going to talk too much about what I'm actually doing, because, you know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to fill the roads in and get it to kind of look like it does from the air. I am kind of trying to pay attention to schools, and you'll notice me put in, I put in probably 5 or 6 schools while I was doing this. But we'll find other things to talk about. And I know there's one thing I can definitely talk about, and I know that you guys love kind of when I reveal like personal details and stuff. Well, I'm going to reveal a little bit of my past at an appropriate moment. Oh, I took out that bit of train track, because I thought, why is that going through that road? That surely should be bridged or something. And then I realised that it was actually the tram track, so I had to put it back in. See, there I am putting a school in. Every time I spotted a school, I put it in. So yeah, you'll see a bunch of those. We should be doing pretty good for schools now. I think we should be ahead of demand now. Although, having said that, I've just put in like a whole new bunch of people, so maybe not. But actually, that'll be interesting to look at. I'll look at that in the next episode. We'll kind of have a bit of a... Well, you know, I'll ask you the question. You tell me. Do you want me to kind of run through the stats briefly? You know, look at the health and the schools and all that kind of stuff. I know we kind of did that at the beginning of this episode, but do you want to run through the fire and, you know, and see all the coverage and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, you know, if you do, let me know. See, there you go, popping in another school. Now we're doing we've done Morden, the Morden area. Actually, no, we haven't done that. We haven't even finished Morden, because we're doing Morden and Merton, the London borough of Merton. So yeah, man, we're still we've still got loads to do. Holy hell. God, it's funny when you watch it back. You suddenly realise, like, how much you did. But again, another thing, like when you're doing this and you're looking at the map, it's amazing how many green spaces there are around London. I mean, there's all kinds of, like, you know, recreation grounds and parks and school playing fields, and I'm trying to figure out what university that is. You see on the left hand side it's flashing up university. I have no idea what The problem is in England, right? About in the what? I guess like late 80s, early 90s, a lot of colleges and polytechnics all got converted into, everything became a university. So you've got, the University of Little Snodgrass and places that you've never freaking heard of. Things that were just colleges and polytechnics all became universities, which some people like. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. Don't know. Don't care. Whatever. It is what it is. They're all universities now, so just live with it. Yeah, but it does mean there's loads and loads and loads of universities I have no idea about, never heard of, or probably never want to hear of. So yeah, I guess I'll have to look that one up and see what it is. I did end up putting a couple of hospitals in, and I did put in quite 3 or 4 graveyards as well while I was doing this. So where are we up to now? Oh, we're up, right. So we finished Morden and Merton, and we're now moving into Collier's Wood. So we've done kind of like the all around, like a fairly big area around the terminus of the Northern Line, at the southern end. So now we're moving up and we're doing Tooting. So we've done, have we already done Collier's Wood? I think there's a little bit more of Collier's Wood to do. But I'm doing Tooting right now. And yeah, I think you can see that I think I'm doing a fairly good job of kind of mirroring kind of in broad strokes, the directions of the roads and the directions of the rows of houses. I think it should look fairly similar when we start looking at satellite images. It should look fairly okay. There's me putting another school in. You know what? I put in more schools than I thought. I put in quite a few. I must have put in maybe 10 schools. Now, we'll go through Tooting, and we come up to Wimbledon. Oh, here's me putting in a big hospital. Now this is a big hospital in this area, and it's got quite a lot of grounds around it. So I thought we'll put that in, and there's a cemetery next to it as well. So I put that cemetery in. Now this is the bit I wanted to talk to you about. So we're doing an area around Wimbledon Stadium, okay, and it's kind of like a bit of an industrial estate, and you've got the stadium. Now it's not the kind of sports stadium that a lot of you will be used to. Wimbledon Stadium is a dog track. Now, some of you probably won't even know what that is. The Americans will, and the Brits will. But some of you may not be familiar with greyhound racing. Now, here I suddenly realised that I needed to put the stadium in, and so I found what I think is a reasonably okay asset to put in for Wimbledon Stadium, and I put some like warehouses and stuff like that in around it to try and kind of make it look how it should. But anyway, so greyhound racing. Now, why do I know a little bit about greyhound racing? Well, do you remember me telling you a while ago that my parents were golf club stewards? Well, they weren't always golf club stewards. They did do other things. And for a while, my dad was the general manager at a greyhound and speedway stadium. And I spent like a fair old amount of time hanging out at the stadium. And I used to go along, and I used to watch the dog racing, and I used to watch the speedway guys practicing and all that kind of stuff. And we are going back a little while, guys. We are going back a little while. But I will drop a few names of the kind of people that I met. And like Speedway really isn't like, it's not a huge sport in the UK. And when I say Speedway, we're talking about motorbikes. We're not like, Speedway means something I think different. I think in the States, I think when you hear Speedway, I think you guys are thinking of more kind of NASCAR type stuff, right? But this, we're talking like dirt bikes, I guess you would call it. Yeah, dirt bikes, I think. I don't know. But I tell you where it is really popular, and that is Scandinavia. Scandinavia, they love their Speedway. Oh, yeah. Now, over here, we do it on dirt tracks, but over there, they do it on ice with like spiked tyres and stuff. Very, very, very cool, actually. I was kind of into Speedway for a while. So yeah, I'll drop you a few names, and this is going back a while, right? But we're talking at the time they were some really famous guys, certainly in Speedway. We're talking about people like my favourite, probably my hero was Ollie Olsen. But he was Swedish. He was Swedish. He rode for the Swedish national team. Peter Collins rode for. He was the British captain, didn't you? The English captain, because we've got different teams. Yeah, he was the English Speedway team captain. And well, you know what? My favourite would be a toss-up between either Ollie Olsen. It probably is Ollie Olsen, but my other like massive favourite was Ivan Major. Ivan Major was freaking awesome. Kind of Ivan Major like dominated the sport, and he was kind of just like on the way out when I started getting interested in Speedway, and Ollie Olsen just totally dominated the sport for years. And but Peter Collins was pretty good. The British had a decent team for a few years, but yeah. Oh, fond days. And watching the dogs. And I used to have a little bet on the dogs now and then. Oh, yeah. I used to have a little flutter. I tell you what, seriously, there is not much better than a night out at the dogs. Really. You go down the dog track, right? And as long as you're not like addicted to gambling or anything, and you can actually like control yourself and just have a little flutter, you know, have a few quid here and there. It's a great night out. Like go with some pals, you know, grab a few friends, go down the dog track. It's a really, really good night out. It's freaking awesome. You get, you know, I mean, go to some of these places. Some of these stadiums now are pretty swanky. You know, you can go there, you can have a meal. It's all, you know, if you go up in like I'm not talking about like down like trackside. I'm talking if you go into like the main stadium. And it's all enclosed, and you're not outside standing freezing in the rain or anything. And they have some pretty good food, and you can go and have a meal, and then basically get drunk and gamble. It's very, very cool. It's very, very fun. All right, that's enough about greyhound racing and Speedway. Am I still doing this? Holy crap. Right, but we're up into the Clapham area now. We're almost up to Clapham Common. Yep, there's Clapham Common. And now I started zoning in. Now I actually stopped at that point, and I actually did this like effectively with you guys watching. And I was but it took too long because I found that I had to go through and individually do all of the bits of commercial and whatever, and it just all took so long. So in the end, I decided that I'd just time-lapse it, and yeah, I think that's much better. Okay, well, we're coming to the end now of the time-lapse sequence, so I'm going to hand you back for a bit of live action. Alrighty, so we've done a section all the way from Morden, all the way up the Northern Line, Collier's Wood, Tooting, Balham, all the way up to Clapham. And that's as far as I went, isn't it, Clapham? My God. Like, seriously, I mean, that's like 2 hours of zoning. And, unbelievable. You know what? while I'm yakking, let's turn it on and let's see it spring to life. Hopefully. Here we go. Oh, it's all coming together. But that is a huge area to zone in. I probably should have done it. I probably should have done it like during the time lapse, or like time lapse this bit. But I kind of wanted to like see some of it come to life with you guys. So it's kind of filling in from the areas that were already zoned in. That really is a big chunk of real estate. Got all these new areas filling in. Well, when you come back, all of this is going to be like fully filled in. But I mean, there's still areas that haven't filled in yet. There's all around here. Oh, this is filling in now. Don't you just love watching this stuff build? I can just sit here and watch all these buildings pop up and just see what appears. And look at all the buildings popping up. What's that pop? Now, we were at about 120, what, about 123? Something like that. Start of the episode. We're already up to like 136. And it's look at all of this go. Man. We're gonna make big steps forward. I mean, we've just filled in like quite a big chunk here. But like when you consider the size of the map, it does make you realise just how much work there is to do. I mean, it's huge. I mean, obviously, North London, we don't go as far north of the river as we do south. You know, so I mean, that chunk that I've probably filled in there would probably like do like most of this area from Paddington up to Hampstead. I don't know. Well, I do a fairly big chunk of it anyway. Yeah. So we've still got loads to do, but man, it's kind of fun, isn't it? There you go. I'll leave you. You know what? We'll switch to free cam. Get rid of all the icons and just start to enjoy the views, because we are really starting to get some good views of the city now. Wow. And all the trains running around. Oh, Jesus. If I can get all the trains and everything, and I want a lot more bus routes, and I want to carry on the realistic bus routes and all the rest of it. I mean, we are going to have like a very, very close model of London. Staggering, isn't it? All right, guys. I'll catch you for the next one. Hope you enjoyed this. Peace out.